Our next question is from Michael Esposito 239. Michael asks, how do people afford 1 gram per day? It's like $40 a gram, like $1,200 per month, which is basically a rent payment.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a question that comes up a lot. And there is a financial factor involved, yeah, for people, and there is a financial factor involved with anybody. So when you're talking about $40 a day, the gram a day, that's a hardcore condition that somebody has, meaning like life threatening, or like something that could take your eyesight, that could greatly affect every single second of your life in an adverse way. So is it worth that? For number one, and then what are the alternatives, and how much do they cost? Number two. Okay. So, what's your life worth to you? And what's, like, for me, what's my eyesight worth to me? That was one of the biggest decisions I had, because at the point that I was at, when I was doing that, I had just spent all my money on a business. I didn't even really have money to do this. And I was going blind. And I was like, what do I do? Pay bills or pay for this? I was literally at that point, so I understand the question completely. Okay. Completely. But there's a couple of factors to understand, and I'll go over one of the big ones at first. So with cancer, for instance, or with glaucoma or whatever, there's or heart disease, whatever. There's a ramp up phase where you do that gram a day or 800 milligrams a day or whatever it is, like what we call a macro dose, where you do a full frontal assault on the condition. Like it's trying to take you out, so you do everything you can to take it out. And there's no side effects to the RSO or FICO. There's only side benefits, I like to say. So you can do that macro dose, and the more you do, the better that you will get. But like, you're only doing that for a short period of time, to overcome the condition. Once you overcome the condition, then you taper down into a maintenance phase, which is much less. So, for instance, with cancer, which is one of the most hardcore conditions, if you're doing the gram a day and it's $40 a day, you might do that for 3 months or 6 months, even a year. Then, however much that costs. After you're done with that and you've overcome the condition, as long as you're successful, then you taper down into a maintenance phase, which could be like 100 milligrams or 200 milligrams a day, which is a tenth or a fifth, 20% of a gram. So it's like 20% of that $40 or 10% of that $40, which is $4 or $8 a day. So at that point, that's doable to maintain. So so even if it was like $1,200 a month, and it took you a year, that's what, like $15,000, but you overcame your stuff. And you're going to get some awesome benefit if you did a gram a day for a year. It's crazy awesome. And most people, like, if they're going to overcome their condition, are going to overcome it like way sooner than that, usually within 45 to 90 to 120 days. Like 80% of the people are going to overcome it within that window of time. And then the other 10% or so, it takes about a year. And then there's some outliers that take a little bit longer than that. But as far as that, even if it did take you a year and it took you $15,000 to overcome, and then just $8 a day to maintain, that's a drop in the bucket compared to traditional cancer therapy. And if you think, I have insurance, it bankrupts you. Well, like, the biggest reason for bankruptcy in the United States and in the world now is medical bills. It bankrupts you, and don't fool yourself. Like a glaucoma medication. People say, I can't afford it. It costs over $400, $600 or more now for glaucoma medication a month for people that have insurance. For people that have insurance, it costs them that much now. Okay, for people that don't, it costs them over $1,000. All right, for their life. All right, not just for a short period of time. It never goes down to that $8, a day. So think about that. Then with cancer, I have a friend, who was paying for the the RSO herself, and sort of struggling to pay it, because it costs money, right? And she has other stuff going on as well. And then when you have cancer, there's a bunch of stuff that's thrown at you. But she had opportunity to do a more traditional protocol, which involved like a new form of chemo or whatever. And and her family paid for it, right? Which happens often, because the person can't afford it. So it not just bankrupts you, but it bankrupts the family. It takes the family's wealth away. Besides bankrupting that person, it takes the familial wealth away. And so that she spent $36,000 on a 6-week program, right? 6 weeks, and it made her worse, right? So it's not so that $40 a day is nothing to overcome the condition. And after hearing that, what I just mentioned, if it still is, then you're sort of lost, and just go do whatever it is you're going to do. Your life isn't important to you at that point, and it's sort of a cruel thing to say, but it's the truth. Like money to me is nothing. You just go work harder and make more. If it comes to that, and for that period of time, and then fucking don't. If you there's all kinds of different computer jobs. You don't have to go out and do physical things anymore. Like find a way, be resilient, and do whatever is necessary to overcome your condition. Be a warrior. Because that's the mindset that it takes to win and overcome a condition like cancer, to overcome a condition like glaucoma. You can't be a fucking pussy about it. You have to be a warrior and say, I'm gonna beat you. You're not gonna win. I'm winning, and I'm gonna take your ass out. And that's the mindset you have to have around the whole thing, including the financial part. All right. So I know that gets in a little bit of a rant, but that's the truth, and that's what people need to hear. And there's no like dancing around it. That's the reality of the situation. And if that's a harsh reality, then too bad, because so is cancer, so is glaucoma. It fucking takes your ass out. In a big way. And this can save your life. That's not worth $40 a day. To me it is. I
I
don't know about
agree.
you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And you're very passionate about this topic, as you should be. And again, key takeaway: how much is your life worth?
Yep.
Thank you.